Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. I'm NURUL SOLEHA BINTI LAKIM, a first year of medical students. Will be talking about a medical specialty that I am interested in. I am interested to become a pulmonologist. So, in this video, I would like to tell you guys about our respiratory systems. First, we look at the functions of our respiratory systems. First, ventilations, which is the movement of air in and out of the lungs. Second one is for diffusion, the exchange of gas between the alveoli and our blood. And the third one is perfusion, which is the flow of blood through the lungs, allowing oxygen to enter the bloodstream and carbon dioxide to leave. Now, we move on to the anatomy part of our respiratory system. Respiratory system divided into two parts, the upper respiratory tract and the lower respiratory tract. The upper respiratory tract is the air intake and the initiate processing, which consists of our nose and nasal cavity, our pharynx and our larynx. While our lower respiratory tract is responsible for air conduction of the lungs and gas exchange. I will explain more about gas exchange later. Bear in mind guys that our lungs is a cone shape. There are differences between our right and our left lung. Our right lung has 3 lobes, while our left lung only has 2 lobes. Our right and left lung has differences in the shape, which is left lung is slightly smaller compared to the right lung due to the presence of the heart. Each of our lungs has a cavity, a pleural cavity. So what is the intrapleural space? Intrapleural space is a fluid-filled space between the two layers of pleura, which is the first one is vesical pleura and the second one is peritoneal pleura. If you guys look at the picture, the one that color blue is the vesical pleura. It is directly cover the surface of the lungs, and the one that color red is the peritoneal pleura, which is lines the inner surface of the chest wall and diaphragm. Our intrapleural space has fluid called pleural fluid, which help to reduce the friction between the two pleural layers as the lung expand and contract. Now, let's move on to the one and important event that occur in our respiratory system, which is the gases exchange. It is consists of two, which is external and internal. For external respirations, the pulmonary artery that carries deoxygenated blood from the heart will pump out into the alveolus, which is in alveolus. So, as the blood is pumped through the capillary network, the gas exchange will occur. The carbon dioxide is released from the blood capillary to the alveolus. When the partial pressure differences in oxygens and carbon dioxide between the alveolus and the blood capillary, it triggers the external respiration to occur. The partial pressure of carbon dioxide in alveoli and blood is different, so this will create a pressure gradient that causes oxygen to rapidly move from the alveolus into the blood. Same case as the carbon dioxide, which is the partial pressure of carbon dioxide also different between the alveolar air and the blood capillary, but the difference is less than the oxygen. However, the relative concentrations of carbon dioxide and oxygens that diffuse across the respiratory membrane are similar. Let's moving on to the internal respirations. Internal respiration is the process where oxygen from the blood is exchanged with the carbon dioxide in the body cells. Similar to external respirations, the internal respirations also occur as simple diffusions due to the partial pressure gradient. The partial pressure of oxygens in the body cell is low, while the partial pressure of oxygens in the blood is high. This creates a proton gradient that causes the oxygens to dissociate from hemoglobin, diffuse out from the blood and entering the body cells. Same thing as the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is lower in the blood than in the body cells, causing the carbon dioxide to diffuse out from the body cells and entering the blood. Carried to the lung, by the time blood returns to the heart, the partial pressure of oxygen has returned to it. stable one. So the blood is pumped back to the lungs to be oxygenated again during the external respirations. So this is the muscle that involved during our exhalation and inhalations. If you guys look at the video, when we inhale, our diaphragm will contract and will pull downward, and then it will increase the size of our thoracic cavity. The volume inside it will increases and the pressure will decreases. Vice versa when we exhale. When we exhale, our diaphragm will relax, which decrease the size of the thoracic cavity, and the volume inside it will decreases as the pressure will increases. Other than that, this is the biochemical process that occur in our respiratory system, which is acid-base balance. So when the carbon dioxide is produced by cells during metabolisms, the carbon dioxide will combine with water in the blood to form a carbonic acid, which dissociate into hydrogen ion and bicarbonate ion. Increase of carbon dioxide will lead to the more hydrogen ion, which is our blood will more acidic. So what's the lung do? The lungs will regulate the amount of carbon dioxide by increasing or decreasing the rate of breathing. For example, hyperventilations, which is rapid breathing, it will help to expel more carbon dioxide and raising the pH, which makes the blood to less acidic. And then for hypoventilation, which is to slower the breathing, which helps to retain the carbon dioxide, which lowering the pH and then making the blood more acidic. So the respiratory system can adjust the blood pH within the minutes to maintain the balance. So this is the disorder that is related to our respiratory system, which is asthma. If you guys look at the picture, the lining of the airways becomes swollen and inflamed. This is due to the increased secretions of mucus, which block the airways of the alveoli and make us difficult to breathing. The persons who has asthma, they will have a shortness of breath and also chest tightness. So the doctors or the providers will give the patient who has asthma inhaler or tablet called leukotriene receptor antagonist tablet for the person who has asthma. There's another treatment that they do, which is injection and surgery, but it's rarely needed but may be recommended if all the treatments are not effective. Last but not least, this is the pulmonologist that inspired me a lot to pursue my medical skills in this specialty, which is Dr. Jamalul Azizi Abdul Rahman. He is a consultant respiratory physician specializing in interventional bronchoscopy and pulmonary physiologist. He is received a mentor awarded by and the Human Award for his contributions to this field. I think this is the end of my presentations. So I hope you guys enjoy my video. Thank you for your attention.